on Wednesday, mimi nikiwa na kwa sababu hiyo ndio ilikuwa kazi yangu ya siku hiyo, na ni kazi ya kikatiba ya kutia mkono sheria, kwa sababu ilikuwa imepita viwango vyote, nikatewa na speaker. Bahati mbaya tukapoteza wetu mkuu wa zamani, lakini tayari nilikuwa ofisini kwa hiyo kazi. Hata nilikuwa nimevaa shati, nilikuwa naenda Ukambani kwa mambo ya barabara. So I was on duty just like any other citizen. Hakuna kitu ya kuficha, hakuna kitu ya giza, hakuna kitu inafanywa usiku. We are doing the right thing for Kenya. We want to protect this nation from situations that undermine the well-being of the young people of our nation, the well-being of the people of Kenya, the security of the country, na yale mambo mengine ambayo yatatusaidia. Wale wanaosema waseme ukweli, wawachane na porojo, wawache misinformation, wawache disinformation. Let us speak what is right, na Kenya itasonga mbele if we are all together.
Ladies and gentlemen, the clips of the snippets of the videos that we have begun with, that was a speech of President William Ruto today attending the burial of the father to the current IG Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, today. And President William Ruto defended his action on 15th of October 2025 on Wednesday morning when he signed 8 bills into law. And among the said bills was the most controversial bill that has faced a lot of scrutiny from Kenyans all over the country, calling upon it being denied and it being abolished. The bill of cybercrime law, or cybercrime bill. President William Ruto has defended his action of signing the said bill or the said bills by saying that it was his constitutional mandate as the president of Kenya, and that was his duty that day morning to sign those bills into law. And he signed those bills before getting the intel or the information of the passing of the late former Prime Minister, Raila Odinga. But we have a question to you, Mr. President. Though the said bills, including the cybercrime bill, has been stopped by the High Court of Kenya after an application was made at the High Court. Remember, leaders from all walks of life, most of them have come up in defiance of the said law or the said bill, saying that this bill is controversial and it's meant to curtail the freedoms of expression which Right Honorable Raila Odinga fought for. Now, allow me to ask the President this question. President William Ruto tells us that these bills had passed all the constitutional legalities to be actually signed into law. But we ask, did the bill find its way to the Senate? It is the mandate of the law to have, or the mandate of the Constitution to have these bills before they are actually asserted into law to go through the Parliament and then proceed to the Senate before proceeding to the President. But the Senate did not have a discussion about this bill. According to some information that was yesterday relayed to us by the Kiambu Senator Karugu Adangwa, this is what he had to tell President William Ruto for failing to, for the bill failing to make its way to the Senate. And you will allow me to read this information that Karugu Adangwa relayed to us yesterday. This is what Karugu Adangwa says. President Ruto's unconstitutional assert of 7 bills that never reached the Senate. On Wednesday, 15th October 2025, President William Ruto committed a gross violation of the Constitution by asserting into law 8 bills, 7 of which were never brought before the Senate as required under Article 110 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. The Senate, which represents and safeguards the interest of the counties, was unlawfully bypassed. This act not only undermines the principle of bicameralism, but also strikes at the core of devolution, a cornerstone of our constitution order. Among the bills that never reached the Senate includes the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Amendment Bill 2024. Number two, the Privatization Bill 2025. Number three, the Wildlife Conservation and Management Amendment Bill 2023. Number four, the National Police Service Commission Amendment Bill 2025. 2024, I mean. Number five, the Air Passenger Service, the Air Passenger Service Charge Amendment Bill 2025. Number six, the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill 2025. And number seven, the National Land Commission Amendment Bill 2023. And he continues by saying, in what can only be described as a deliberate and cynical move, the president chose to sneak the asset like a thief in the night, yet in broad daylight, and on a day when the entire nation was mourning the passing of the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, a statesman who spent his life defending democracy and constitutionalism. This timing and manner raises serious moral and political questions. While Kenyans reflected on the democratic values and justice that Raila Odinga stood for, Mr. Ruto quietly ascertained to laws that weaken the very institution Raila Amolo Odinga fought to strengthen. And he says we must ask this question, and I read, why did the president proceed to sign these bills into law despite clear constitutional guidance and legal precedent requiring the Senate's input? Number two, what urgency or motive justified such a blatant disregard of due process? Number three, why was this done on the very day our nation was plugged into mourning for a national hero whose lifelong mission was to defend good governance? I therefore call upon the Senate leadership to urgently seek an advisory opinion from the courts under Article 110, 111, 112, and 163 on the constitutionality of these acts. Number two, the Council of Governors, civil society, Gen Zs, patriots, and constitutional watchdogs to stand firm in defending the integrity of the legislative processes. Now, let's get back to President William Ruto speaking about the signing of the said bills today. The president tells us that he had not yet received the news, or it was his constitutional mandate to sign those bills into law. But let me ask you, as a follower and a viewer of this video, did you in any way hear of a public participation of these bills? Were we as the public involved in actually deciding whether these bills should be amended into law? No, we weren't. Number two, why didn't this bill find their way into the Senate? Because the Senate is the watchdog of the executive and also the parliament at large. That is number two. Number three, President William Ruto tells us that he had not yet received the news. According to Raila Odinga's family, we are told that they received the news of the passing of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga that day on 15th of October by saa 12 asubuhi. So President William Ruto already knew, but he is trying to defend his impunity by telling us that it was his constitutional mandate. The reason why he signed these bills is so that he will have power over the people of the Republic of Kenya from expressing themselves via social media and via media platforms. Are we together? So the president can play the card that he wants to play. But truth be told, if these bills continue or they get to start functioning the Republic of Kenya, this country is going to be plugged into a crisis. According to the intel we have, from the 15th of October when these bills were signed, more so the privatization bill, until the 20th of October on Mashujaa Day, over 11 public farms had been sold to private entities through the privatization bill. So President William Ruto, tell us, how urgent was it to make sure that public farms like KICC, Kenya Pipeline Company, why were they so urgent to be signed over to private companies, yet the country was mourning. Yet the public was not involved in deciding whether they want their companies being sold to private entities. Ladies and gentlemen, it is just the beginning, but William Ruto tries to defend his moves, which actually doesn't make sense. For now, that's what's up. I would love to hear your comments in regards to this matter. Leave a comment on the comment section. See you in our next video. Remember to subscribe. This is the Kenyan Daily Report.